He led thousands to God until one tragedy made him stop believing. A mega-church pastor, respected, admired, followed by many, suddenly walked away from everything. He stood before crowds every Sunday, speaking hope into broken lives. People traveled from far just to hear him. To them, he was a man full of faith, a man who believed in miracles. But then tragedy came to his home. He sat beside a hospital bed, holding a hand that was growing colder. Machines beeped softly in the background. Doctors had done all they could, so he did what he had always told others to do. He prayed, "God, please, not this time. If you are there, show up." He waited and waited, but the miracle never came. And in that silence, something inside him began to break. Not all at once, but slowly, piece by piece. The man who once spoke with certainty was now drowning in questions. "Where were you? Why didn't you answer?" One Sunday, he stood before the crowd again, the same crowd that believed in him, the same place where he had once been so sure, but this time, something was different. He looked at them and realized he no longer believed the words he was preaching. His voice trembled. "I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore." Silence filled the room, and just like that, he walked away. He left the church. He left the title. He left everything. No announcements. No explanations. Just gone. He disappeared into a small town where no one knew his name. No one knew his past. No one expected anything from him. And there, he became a carpenter, working with wood, fixing broken chairs, repairing doors, building simple things with his hands. Life became quiet. No spotlight, no stage, no applause, just silence. But the questions never fully left. At night, he would sit alone, staring at his hands covered in dust and splinters, wondering how a man who once held a microphone now only held broken wood. "Where were you? Why didn't you answer?" But something strange started happening. Even after he lost his faith, he couldn't stop helping people. An old woman needed her roof fixed. He showed up. A struggling family had broken furniture. He stayed late to repair it. Some couldn't even afford to pay him. But he didn't care. Day by day, he served quietly, not because of faith, not because of belief, but because something inside him refused to stop loving. And slowly, without him even realizing it, something inside him began to soften. Not through sermons, not through worship, but through service, through showing up, through helping others rebuild, even while he was still broken himself. Then one day, everything changed. A young boy stood nearby watching him work, quiet, curious. The man noticed him, but said nothing. Then the boy spoke. "Why do you help everyone? Even when you look sad?" The question hit him harder than anything he had faced before. He froze, because for the first time, he didn't have an answer. He opened his mouth, but no words came out, and in that moment of silence, something shifted because suddenly, he remembered someone, Jesus Christ, the carpenter, who didn't just speak to crowds, but served in quiet places, who healed, who loved, who carried pain without needing recognition. And it hit him. Maybe faith was never about standing on a stage. Maybe it was never about having all the answers. Maybe it was about this serving, loving, showing up. Even when your heart is breaking, tears filled his eyes. Not because his pain disappeared, not because all his questions were answered, but because he realized something deeper. God had never really left. He had just been looking for him in the wrong place that night, for the first time in a long time. He prayed again, not as a pastor, not as a leader, but as a man. Finding his way back, he didn't return to the megachurch. He didn't go back to the spotlight, but he found something greater, a quieter faith, a deeper faith, a real faith. Because sometimes you don't find God in the noise, you find him in the silence. You find him in the small moments. You find him when you're rebuilding what's broken. He led thousands to God, but in the end, God found him.